Okay, I have already sent you the tests on the class marker म्हणून आहे. त्याच्यावर already I have sent you the 2 to 3 tests. Okay, but hardly एक किंवा दोन जणांनी ते attempt केलेलं आहे. If you can attempt it, well and good. Otherwise, basically in order to जे तुमचं बेसिक्स क्लिअर होण्यासाठी और द टॉपिक एकदम क्लिअर होण्यासाठी the tests were given to you. Okay, even if you haven't done it, no problem. I will try to take the printout and send it to you, because now 11th standard admission work is going on, so I don't know how many times I will be able to take your lecture, but the thing is we have already completed the all the topics, okay, of paper 2 networking चे वगैरे. All the notes I have sent it on the email. If you haven't received any mail of the notes, then please let me know, I will send it again. Now regarding the question paper pattern, it is same as similar to what we had the paper pattern in 11th standard. Okay, you have total 50 marks ka paper in the theory. Then question number 1A part जो आहे, that is nothing but your select the correct alternative and rewrite the sentence. Correct alternative and rewrite the sentence. So what is the main problem with the students is they don't rewrite the sentence. So basically you have to complete the fill in the blanks and rewrite the whole sentence. Okay, that is of 4 marks. So this particular okay, so this is for the 4 marks compulsory question ahe. Then you have question 1B. Okay, question 1B. In question 1B, if you see question number 1B, again you have to attempt question number 1B मध्ये जसं आपण नेहमी आपला पेपर 2 असायचा तसाच आहे. क्वेश्चन नंबर 1B मध्ये you have again A and B. Okay, so while writing the alternative, please write the proper alternative. Okay, many times तुम्ही 1 2 3 देता, actually they are A B C दिलेलं असतं. So this is out of 3 you have to attempt any 2. Okay, that is your 6 marks question. So 3 marks each. Then rest of the questions, that is question number 2. Question number 2A, again you have A, B, C part, your capital A part. Okay. Again you have the A, B and C part. Again you have attempt any 2. So it is again your 6 marks question. Okay, attempt any 2, you have the 6 marks question. So 3 marks each. Question number 2B, you have, so question number 2, 3 and 4 you have the same paper, same pattern. Question number 2B, you have A and B are the options. A and B are the options where you have to attempt any one, and that is of your 4 marks question. Okay, so question number 3 also same as question number 2, question number 4 also same as question number 2, and then last question is nothing but your question number 5, where you have to attempt any 2. Question number 5. Okay, question number 5, attempt any 2. These are the programs the question A, B and C. These are the 3 programs, and out of that you have to write any 2, or you have the complete or. Okay, or question number 5 again. Question number 5, again you have attempt any 2, A, B and C. So you have total 6 programs. Out of that you have to attempt any 2, but that also from either this or this, not this and this one. Okay, So that is the careful, you have to be careful while writing the program. And second thing is, you have to give the heading to the program, okay, because since the options are same, A, B, C are the options, and question number 5 is same. So basically, suppose this is for to find the number of odd or even numbers. So give the title to that particular program, and then write the program. While writing the programs in theory, okay, while writing the programs in theory, you have to always make 3 columns. The first column is label, the second column is mnemonics, and the third column is comments. Okay, so just remember this. So you need not have to write the opcodes. Okay, I mean codes, not opcodes. You need not have to write the codes. So that is the thing which you have to remember while writing it in the practical, in the theory. Okay, in the theory exam, you don't have to write the codes. The codes will be, you will have to write it, comments you have to write it here. Okay, so these are the 3 columns which you have to use for writing the theory program. In the theory program, depending upon whether you have to write a program or write a subroutine, your end statement will be halt, or it will be, usually the instructions are written in the capital letters, or it will be return statement. If it is a subroutine, then you have to write return. But if it is a program, you have to write halt. Where in practical exam, you will be writing RST1 as the end statement of the mnemonics. Okay, so this part you have to remember. So you can imagine what is the weightage of the program. 10 marks se programs hai, okay, in the theory, and 30 marks program in the practical. Practical you have totally 50 marks, right? Out of those 50 marks, 30 marks are for your practical program which you perform, okay, and out of those 20 marks you can have for the journal and the oral. Okay, so many times they divide it as 10-10, many times they divide it as 15-5, depending upon the examiner, whoever comes, external examiner, whatever he says. So 30 marks are for your entering the program, writing the program, writing the code, entering the code, and execution of the code. So this is how, so total you can say 40 marks are just for your programs out of 100 marks. Okay, so that is the weightage for your program. So the second chapter of your paper 2, that is instruction set, that particular chapter is very important. So second chapter, chapter 2. Okay, so chapter 2 is nothing but your instruction set. So basically the questions which are asked on this particular chapter is nothing but your actual programs and the instructions explanation. Means, for example, suppose if they ask you explain the LDAX instruction, okay, it will be either 3 marks question. So 3 different instructions they will ask, or they will ask about just one instruction but different points. Okay, so LDAX, and the general format of this particular instruction is register pair. Okay, so what is the meaning of that particular instruction, that you will have to first write. First write the full form of this particular instruction. What is the full form? Load accumulator with the contents of the address specified by the register pair. Okay, so that is nothing but the full form. Then what it does, that you have to write. You can take an example and explain it. For example, LDAX, and then register pairs are BC or DE. So suppose if I write register LDAX B, so it will transfer the contents of the address specified by BC register pair into accumulator, that is A register. That is what is the meaning. So in that case, you will have to explain that thing also and take one example. Contents of BC register are, for example, C1000H. H means hexadecimal. Okay, so that is nothing but C1000H, and the contents of C1000 h are nothing but equal to, for example, 65. This is also hexadecimal value. Then after execution of this instruction, accumulator becomes 65. This is the explanation of your instruction which is completed now. Okay, then it is 1 byte instruction. Then in which group it is, the data transfer group instruction. Oh, okay, and then the flags affected are none, that is no flags are affected. Okay, these all things you will have to write even though it is asked for 1 mark, because you never know in the model answer where the marks are given. Suppose they have asked half marks are given for the how many bytes that instruction is, and only that particular point you haven't written and all the points you have written, still the half marks will be cut. Okay, so that is how you will have to write about the instructions. Then the second part in the instructions, that is the second chapter, that is nothing but your diagram about your T state, त्याच्यानंतर machine cycle and instruction cycle. So that diagram which is in your book, okay, that is very important. What is a T state, that you have to explain it. What is a machine cycle, that you have to explain it. These are the nothing but your clock signals. Okay, the time required to complete one clock signal. Actually नीट काढायचं, हे पुढे मागे होतंय. Okay, so this is nothing but one T state. The sub part of the instruction which is completed in one clock cycle is called as the T state. Then in order to complete the sub operation of your instruction is nothing but called as the machine cycle. What are the sub operations which you have? You can either fetch the opcode fetching, correct? Then you have the memory read operation or write operation. All these are nothing but the sub parts of your instructions. Okay, so these sub parts, that is opcode, will be always fetched for each and every instruction, and after fetching the instruction, what are the different things which they have to do is nothing but your machine cycle. This is your machine cycle. Okay, and I hope you are able to. Okay, now suppose in order to complete the whole instruction, execution of whole instruction is called as the instruction cycle. So the diagram carries 1.5 marks and the explanation carries 1.5 marks. Though it is a half mark question or 1 mark question, you have to write as many points you know. Okay, don't write it like ICSE, especially ICSE and CBSE students. Okay, you have to write it जितकं तुम्हाला माहिती आहे तेवढं लिहायचंय, but don't write it any wrong information. That is also important. Then in the second chapter, you have the programs, then the instructions explanation and this particular diagram. Then your next important chapter is nothing but your first chapter, that is microprocessor architecture. Okay, that is chapter number 1. Okay, so chapter number 1, in this you have the evolution of microprocessor, that is of your 3 marks or 4 marks question. In that you have to mention the name of the microprocessor, number of bits that microprocessor is. Then you have to explain the function of that particular microprocessor. For example, 4-bit microprocessor 4004. In the evolution you must mention the generation. If the generation is correct, number of bits is correct, but the example is wrong, then also you will lose mark. Okay, so generations are nothing but there are first generation you have 4-bit microprocessor, 4 into 2 that is 8, 8 into 2 that is 16, 16 into 2 32, 32 into 2 64. These are the number of bits, okay, for each and every evolution of the microprocessor. And then you have to mention what, you have to mention the name of the microprocessor, and then you have to mention then what is the function of the microprocessor. For example, if you mention 4-bit microprocessor, it was only used for the calculation purpose. Okay, no programming was possible. That you can write. Okay, then comes your all the diagrams. One of the diagrams will be always asked. One is your 8085 microprocessor block diagram. Then you have generic microprocessor block diagram. Then you have computer block diagram. These are the three main diagrams and the pin diagram. These are the main diagrams which are always there. One of the diagram is always asked. Okay. So once you draw these particular diagrams with the pencil, you have to draw it. 80% to 90% your diagram must be correct. Okay. Then the third important part is nothing but your pin explanations. Pin explanation, it is a 40 pin IC, and then in that 40 pin IC, what are the different pins that you have to explain it. For example, there is one pin which is called as ALE. What is the full form of that? It is nothing but address latch enable. Okay, that is the full form. If you can write the full form of the pin, you can write it. Then whether it is an input pin or output pin, that you have to mention. It is an output pin. And what is the function of that particular pin? Okay, see, 8085 has 8-bit data and 16-bit address. So out of that, the data is multiplexed with the lower 8-bit of the address. So A0 to A7 is multiplexed with D0 to D7. That is, they are sent on the same line. So the ALE signal is mainly used to distinguish whether that particular information is address or that particular information is data. When ALE is high, at that time it is address. When ALE is low, at that time it is data. This full explanation must be there. Minimum 3 pins they ask you to explain, any 3 pins. Okay, they will mention it. In the pin diagram, you have to draw the pins 1 to 40. You have to give the pin numbers as well as write the pin name. Okay, there it is not expected you to write the full form of the pins and everything, or explanations of the pin. Or while the pin explanations is asked, you need not have to draw the pin diagram in that case. Okay, then the next question which is usually asked is nothing but the features of 8085. This year it was asked. So there are main features, if you remember, it is number of bits, number of data bits, number of address bits. Once you know number of address bits, you can find out what is the memory combination of that. Okay. So if 8085 is there, it is 8-bit microprocessor, so it can process 8-bit data at a time. It has 16-bit address. 16-bit address. So 2 raised to 16, that is 64 kilobyte of memory it can have. 2 raised to 16 means 2 raised to 10 into 2 raised to 6. So 2 raised to 10 is considered as the 1 kilobyte, 1024 bytes. Okay, so that 2 raised to 6 is nothing but 64. Therefore, it is 64 kilobyte of memory. It is possible. Then the next feature is the lower 8-bit of the address and the lower and the data are multiplexed, and the ALE pin is used. What is the use of the ALE pin? It chooses either it is the data or it is address. The basic use of the multiplex pins is the number of pins are reduced, or the size of the IC is reduced. Okay, this question also they can ask, what is the advantage of the multiplexed pins? Okay, so that is the main advantage. Then it uses IO mapped IO scheme, that is also important. And the last one is nothing but it has 74 instructions, and it works on plus 5 volt supply and so on. So basically whatever are the important features that you have to write it first. Then the usually asked question is about flags. So the flag register is nothing but the important term which is in the 8085. So flag register is your 8-bit register. Okay, 8 bits register. So basically what are the flags? This particular construction of the flag register you must remember, because in practical also you will need it. So sign 0, correct, and then it is a don't care condition, auxiliary carry, then don't care condition, then you have parity, don't care condition, and carry. Many times usually one question is asked on the flag register in the theory. In practical you have to interpret the flag register contents. Okay, so sign flag is affected by the MSB of the answer. If MSB of the answer is 1, sign flag is 1. Zero flag is affected when zero flag is 1 when the answer is 0. Zero flag is 0 when answer is non-zero. Auxiliary carry is generated or set when there is a auxiliary carry, that is carry from the lower nibble to the higher nibble. Parity flag will be 1 when the parity is even, that is number of ones in the answer are nothing but your even, and the carry flag is 1 when there is a carry at the MSB position. So many times they can ask you to interpret the flag register content. So suppose if the meaning is, suppose 0, the flag register contents are 54, interpret its meaning. So you must be able to convert the hexadecimal number into binary and binary to hexadecimal. That is the important thing which you have to remember. So 54 is nothing but your flag register. Interpret its meaning. Sign flag is 0. That means MSB of the answer is 0. Zero flag is 1. That means the answer is 1. Answer is 0. Auxiliary carry is 1. That means there is a carry from lower nibble to the higher nibble. Parity flag is 1. That means number of ones in the answer are 1 even. And carry is 0. That means no carry is generated. Okay, that you have to remember. Then the usually next question which is asked is nothing but about the interrupts. Always it is asked what are the types of interrupts. Then you have hardware interrupt and then you have software interrupt. Okay, then what do you mean by the maskable and non-maskable interrupt? Priorities of the interrupt, that is very important. Trap has the highest priority. RST 7.5 has the next highest. RST 6.5 has the next highest. RST 5.5 has the next highest, and the INTR has the lowest priority. Trap is also known as RST 4.5. Okay, that is nothing but your interrupt. And the highest priority is trap. It is a non-maskable interrupt. And they will be asking you the what are the vectored interrupts. So vectored interrupts are the interrupts where whenever they appear at that time the control will be transferred always to the specific memory location. Always. The interrupt service routine is written at the, for example, so 4.5 into 8 करायचं. Whatever is the answer, convert it into hexadecimal. Always write the addresses in the hexadecimal. So 845, 832, 36. Okay, 36 is the decimal answer. Divide 36 by 16. Okay, so 16 divided by 36. So what you get? 36 divided by 16. So 16 to the 32, right? The remainder is 4. Then again if you divide it, 2 divided by 16, बरोबर 32. So it is remainder is 4. And now if you divided it, you will get 24 as the answer, right? So 0024, convert it into 16-bit number. Okay, 0024 is nothing but your hexadecimal address. Similarly, here it is 003C, 0024 and 002C are the. Then you have the RSTN, that is the software interrupt, which is also the vector interrupt. So these are the things which you must remember in the first chapter. Then basically in the second chapter also I forgot to tell you one thing, but before that, what is IO mapped IO scheme? IO mapped IO scheme is nothing but the IO devices and memory can have the same address. That is called as the IO mapped IO scheme. That means you have 0000 to FFFF. These are the combinations. These combinations, out of this, for example, 4000 is the address which can be given to the memory, or it can be given to the input output device. Okay, so that is called as the IO mapped IO scheme. In order to know whether it is for the uh, IO devices or memory, you use IOM bar is the signal. When IOM bar signal is low, it is for the memory, and when IOM bar signal is high, it is for the IO devices. That you have to remember. Where memory mapped IO scheme, you have different addresses for the memory and different addresses for the input output devices. So 0000 to, for example, AFFF can be for the memory, and B000 to FFFF can be for the IO devices. Okay, so the difference between them you must know. Then in the second chapter, I forgot to tell you, one question is usually always asked about if the contents of accumulator are nothing but, for example, if I take the 56H, okay, the contents of B register is nothing but, for example, A7H. What is the contents of the accumulator, or any register they can ask, not necessary the accumulator they will ask. What is the contents of the accumulator after A and AB? 3-4 instructions they will do. For example, subtract B. Okay, if they are executed individually. Okay, so they ask. So in this case, for example, A and AB, if you want to show, then in this case you must show what are the accumulator contents in 0101, 0110. Then register B contents you must show as A7. Remember A7, that is nothing but 1010, 0111. Okay, so that these are the things which, I mean, you must be able to convert the hexadecimal to binary and binary to hexadecimal. Otherwise, you will not get marks for this particular. 1 year, instead of programs, this question was asked. So AND operation means both the inputs are 1, then only output will be 1. So this will be 0000, 0010. So while writing the answer, the accumulator will have the contents as 02. This is how you will have to write. Okay. Now in this case, many times they can ask you the flag registers affected. So you have to remember that ANA instruction sets the auxiliary carry. Even if there is no auxiliary carry from here to here, it will set that. So this question is always asked. Okay. So just go through those particular papers. If you have bought the Supekar book, at the end of the Supekar book, there are so many question papers. Okay. If you go through it, you will come to know. Then one more question which is always asked is nothing but about the addressing modes. So what are the different addressing modes and the explaining of that? Okay, so while explaining, addressing modes are, one is a direct addressing mode, second one is register addressing mode, third one is indirect addressing mode, fourth one is immediate addressing mode, and third last one is nothing but implicit or implied addressing mode. So in this case, you must remember direct addressing mode means the address is given in the instruction. You have to explain it. The address is given in the instruction, and from that address, the data is operated. Then it is direct addressing mode. So LDA and 16-bit address. So you have to explain this instruction LDA 4000. Then the address 4000 is given, and the contents of 4000 are nothing but, for example, FF. These are transferred to the accumulator. Therefore, it is direct addressing. These all are 3 bytes instruction always. LDA, opposite instruction STA, LDA similar instruction LHLD, opposite instruction SHLD. These are nothing but. Then register मध्ये both the registers are involved in the operation. For example, move A comma B. Okay, that is nothing but your register addressing. One byte instructions always. Indirect addressing mode. In this case, the contents are taken from the address, but that is not mentioned in the instruction. So all M wala instruction, add M. Okay, so the contents of the memory whose address is in HL register pair are added with the accumulator. So the data is taken from the address, and that address is not mentioned like here it is mentioned, but here it is not. It is in the register pair. So LDAX, SPAX, all these instructions have the indirect addressing mode. Immediate addressing mode, the data is specified in the instruction. For example, MVI A05. 05 is the data which is mentioned in the instruction which is transferred to the accumulator. LXI instruction. Implicit आहे sorry immediate आहे. So ज्या याला I हा instruction असतो, all these instructions are nothing but your immediate addressing mode. Then comes implicit addressing mode. The number is taken implicitly, okay, assumed to be in the accumulator. No register, no data, nothing is specified in the instruction. So it is implicit addressing mode, RRC. Where is the data? In the accumulator, and on that data the operation is performed. Okay, so usually these are the questions from the first two chapters, and you must remember that the first two chapters more than 70% of your topic is covered in the theory as well as practical. So 80% you can say the topic is covered in the theory as well as in the practical. Okay, then your microcontroller, that particular, if you do the lessonच्या खालचे question answers, that's all enough for the microcontroller chapter. Maximum 8 to 10 marks questions ते इथे येतात, including option I am talking about. Then x86 family, maximum 4 marks question असतो. Okay, so in this case the diagram is which is important is nothing but diagram which is important is nothing but your model. Okay, programming model of x86 family or 32-bit family, sir. Then the diagram which is important is nothing but the flag register of x86 family kiva architecture of 8086. Okay, of 8086. These are the three diagrams in this particular. Okay, and rest of the thing you must remember the table जे आहे comparison of all families, that you have to remember, and Pentium चे advanced features. These are the main typical questions which are asked from the x86 family chapter मध्ये. Okay, only 4 marks येते, 4 to 5 marks maximum. 1 marks in the fill in the blanks, and rest of the 4 marks or 3 marks question, एक question. Then comes your networking. Those who are very good in mugging up the chapter, networking chapter is very important for them. Networking ला basically एक तरी question from topology असतो, एक तरी question from the connecting devices. Okay, connecting devices or network जे devices आहेत, that is nothing but your hub, modem, त्याच्यानंतर you have router and then repeater. One question is on this particular thing. In this case, the diagrams are also important, whether they have asked you or not. You must draw the diagram, and the rest of the things are nothing but LAN, WAN, MAN madla difference. Then you have the different cables madla difference, and then you have the diagrams of the cables. Cables the diagrams, when it is asked, write a note on the particular cable, then only you have to draw the diagram. Otherwise, the characteristics of the media, if you remember, then using those characteristics you can just compare the different cables. Twisted pair, then you have coaxial, then you have the fiber optics cable. So characteristics is nothing but about the cost, installation cost, त्याच्यानंतर you have the bandwidth, त्याच्यानंतर you have the EMI, electromagnetic interference and attenuation. Okay, then an important topic is nothing but your protocol. What is a protocol, and then what is the TCP IP protocol? That is important topic. Or many times they ask you about the access methods. Okay, so this year they had asked about the access methods. One is nothing but your polling, त्याच्यानंतर you had the contention, and then you had the tokenization. Okay, so these are the small topics which you can cover in the networking. Last year तुम्हाला 11वीला पेपर 1 ला नेटवर्किंग होता, त्यामुळे जास्त प्रॉब्लेम येणार नाही while doing the networking chapter. But microcontroller and x86 family हे last moment ला तुम्ही करू शकता, but first 2 chapters you must do before your practical exams, so that instruction set हा जर नीट असेल तर practical exam ला तुम्हाला वायवाला काही प्रॉब्लेम येत नाही. अदरवाइज वायवा मध्ये जर तुम्हाला आलं नाही तर ते मार्क कापू शकतात. दॅट इज द मेन प्रॉब्लेम. ओके, आणि आता प्रॅक्टिकल आपले सुरू नाही झाले त्यामुळे तुम्हाला थोडंसं अवघड वाटेल, पण अदरवाइज इन द प्रॅक्टिकल सगळा पोर्शन तुमचा पेपर तुमचा होऊन जाईल. प्रॅक्टिकलला तुम्हाला ऑफकोड शीट दिली जाते and you will have to refer the opcode sheet to write the, so 5 हे जे तुम्ही करता, one is nothing but the address, then you use the code, then label, then mnemonics, बरोबर, and then comment. These are the 5 parts which you will do in the practical exam. So to write the codes, the opcode sheet is given to you. Okay, while writing the code, see, entering and execution is same for all the programs for paper 2. Only thing is you must be able to write the mnemonics and convert it into code. That is the important. आता less than 1 minute राहिले त्यामुळे कधीही